Hello and welcome back to my MMA channel. If you have clicked on this video, which you have, thank you very much, you will probably be thinking one of two things. One, wow, he's uploaded on this channel again. Maybe this is a new habit going forward. It's probably not. I just like posting stuff on here when I feel like posting stuff. All my MMA stuff goes on VMTV most of the time, so it's just whenever I feel like it, but this felt like a good video to do. You have probably seen my previous video that I uploaded, the one before this, a couple of days ago, I don't know, something like that, where I unboxed a UFC signed poster. You can buy these from the UFC Collectibles website. You can pay about £80-ish to get a random signed event poster. I stole the idea from my friend Jamie, who also did a video, and I decided to do it for myself and unbox it. Now, we did that yesterday, and at the end of the video, I said I would love to do this again because it's very addicting, but you know, they're expensive and I don't need another one, frankly, although it was very tempting. So I have another one. Let's talk about the first one real quick before we get into that, because I was quite happy with the one that I got yesterday. Obviously, I've not put it up yet because I need to get a frame for it. So this is the one we got yesterday. There's the empty box. If you've seen the video, then you already know what we got, so this isn't a spoiler. But we got a signed Holly Holm versus Shevchenko poster. It's a cool poster. It's got Edson and Gilbert Melendez on there. It's also got some signatures from the likes of Francis Ngannou and Kamaru Usman on there. So very, very cool. I was very worried when I first saw Fight Night and Holly Holm's name, not because I particularly dislike Holly Holm or anything like that, but we all know that Holly Holm has been in some not very good main events of some fight nights that have been some of the more underwhelming cards that I could have got a poster from. So I was quite worried, but Holm versus Shevchenko is a pretty good one. Of course, I'm a huge fan of Valentina Shevchenko, so that's cool. But also the poster itself is quite a cool design with the kind of Chicago theme. So I was quite happy with that. And then after it got delivered, I got a text message from DHL saying that it hadn't been delivered or something like that, which I was very confused about. And it said it would be here tomorrow. And I was like, okay, this must just be an error because I've already got it. Quickly check my bank account out of worry that I've accidentally bought two, which I haven't. And then I got a text message earlier today whilst I was doing some work saying that it was near and that the DHL courier would be here soon. To which they dropped off this one. I mean, you can see the unopened one behind me there. So this is a new one. So I checked again. I have not bought two, but there must have been some sort of error, which you cannot complain at. So I guess we're doing it again. The only disappointing thing with this is, one, I haven't had the anticipation of waiting to open it and waiting for it to arrive. So I'm not like as excited as I was for the one yesterday. Yesterday when I recorded the video. But also, if you watch till the end of the video of the previous unboxing, you'll know that on the seal I found that they'd written they'd written Fox 20, which the Holm versus Shevchenko event was UFC on Fox 20. So luckily I didn't see that before I opened it, otherwise that would have been a giveaway. Not that I would have been able to name what that event was. But yeah, I noticed that on the seal it also says what it is. Now again, I don't know what fights are on that card, but I know that it is another UFC on Fox Fight Night, and quite, I suppose, what kind of ruined my excitement is that it's not a completely random one. It's actually the event before the one that I have the poster for. I mean, it could be worse. It could have been the same one, but you can't complain about a free poster. So we're going to open this one up and actually have a look at what UFC on Fox 19 is. Now, you will know this probably by the time I have opened it because you can just look it up, but I have stopped myself from doing that. They tried to cover it with a sticker, but the sticker came off. They've done the same thing where they had tried to scribble over the permanent marker that says what event it is, but that just left it with a lot of permanent marker on the top. So I once again got my hands covered in permanent marker when I picked this up. Very confusing. Again, when it arrived, I was so excited, thinking, oh, well, we've got a pretty good chance at getting a pay-per-view here, because there is a 25% chance of getting a pay-per-view card in one of these. But I already know that it isn't one, which is a shame because we bought two, so 50% chance realistically. Well, sort of. And we haven't got one. So that's a little bit disappointing. That kind of, I was like, okay, I guess I'll do a video on it, even still, because I can't complain. There you go. There is the seal. As I've already told you that I know what event it is, I might as well show you it as well. Clearly says Fox 19. They've tried their best, but it is what it is. Okay. There you go. Stick that one with the little collection there. Gonna have to find a lot more room space than I initially thought for one of these. It's got the same kind of Fight Night logo at the top, where it has like the old red banner where it says UFC Fight Night on the poster. Am I gonna have to rip this? No. Okay, second unboxing, guys. I did not see this one coming. That is the bottom. Okay. Rose Namajunas versus Teach Torres. This looks like it's going to be... Sorry to keep you waiting. This looks like it's going to be one of the ones where it's like three... what's the word? Three, like, rows of fights. So right there, we've got Rose Namajunas. It's all women in my posters. Rose Namajunas versus Teach Torres. That is a decent one. Can we get a good co-main? Lyoto Machida and Dan Henderson. That is not a bad one, you know, for a co-main event at middleweight. This is... Oh, it's Glover Teixeira versus Rashad Evans. There you go. Legends matchup of this fight night. I'm not gonna... I literally realised just then that I was going to say the exact same thing I said in the first video. Saying I'm not mad at that, guys. Of course I'm not mad at it. I didn't pay for it. Don't tell them. But if I had got this one yesterday, I think I would have been quite happy with it. The poster itself is quite bland. The Home versus Shevchenko one, which obviously I'll put up on screen. The way they've incorporated kind of the Chicago theme and stuff, I thought was really cool. This one is more of your standard Fight Night poster, where it just has all three guys. It's going to be difficult for me to show you the full poster whilst I'm sat down. Let's grab this by the other. Machida Henderson is a sick one. And Rose Namajunas on there. Again, it's going to be impossible for me to show you the whole poster, but obviously I'll put it up on the video anyway. That's pretty good, man. Man, the issue is I'm 2 for 2 on pretty good posters, you know, so I kind of want to keep going, but I'm not going to. Even if they are going to send me free ones. Let's have a look at this UFC Fight Night, just like we did for the Home Shevchenko one, and find out a little bit more about this event that we have got on our hands. Let me just close a bunch of my work tabs. UFC on Fox 19 is the card that we have been given. Khabib Nurmagomedov, I'm seeing on here. That's a pretty cool one. Okay, let's have a look. All right. UFC on Fox, Teixeira versus Evans, Tampa, Florida. Cool location. So the poster that they have on Wikipedia, now I've looked up the event, is actually got... it doesn't have the Lyoto Machida fight on there with Dan Henderson, so I guess we'll find that out. Let me just move this to the side. The event was the second time the organisation hosted in the Tampa Bay area, and the first since UFC Fight Night Joe Lozon versus Jeremy Stevens. Bloody hell. Okay, it was expected... that's annoying. It was expected to be headlined by Tony Ferguson versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. We all know what happened with those fights. Of course, how late was it into the April 5th? Okay, so about 10 days before the event, Ferguson pulled out. And if you guys will remember this fight, I always have it ingrained in my mind because it's one of the most one-sided UFC fights I've ever seen the promotion do. Daryl Horcher stepped in to face Habib on the card, and it was a devastation. He was making his UFC debut. They needed a late notice replacement, but man, Tony Ferguson is my favourite fighter of all time. So to be that close to getting a Ferguson, I mean, obviously it wouldn't have been a Ferguson Habib one, but even still. Okay, Mauricio Shogun Rua was supposed to face Rashad for the title. In 2011, but Evans pulled out once again the bout did not materialise. Okay, so they were scheduled to fight twice, and then Shogun pulled out and was replaced by Glover Teixeira. Some other stuff on here. A rematch between former light heavyweight champion Lyoto Machida and former Pride welterweight and middleweight champion and Strikeforce light heavyweight champion Dan Henderson was expected to take place. Did it not take place? It didn't. So, is it because they only pulled out at late notice, and so they still signed it? Oh, the banned substance in out of competition for Lyoto Machida. I'm sorry for all this dead air. I'm just trying to read at the same time. So Machida was pulled from the event through USADA. He was removed from the bout. Henderson was rebooked for another event at a later date. I wonder if that would have been UFC 299. 299? 199 when he faced Hector Lombard and hit him with that elbow and dropped him, and then ended up getting the fight with Bisping because of it. After the weigh-ins, the UFC announced Islam Makhachev was informed of a potential anti-doping violation and was removed from his bout with Drew Dober. I didn't realise they were ever scheduled to fight before. That's annoying. We could have had good old Islam Makhachev on the same card as Habib. So let's actually have a look at the card. I will put this up. This is a really good fight night card. Not amazing, but there's some big names on here, which obviously, you know, we got the poster, is kind of what I wanted. Eliseu Zaleski dos Santos opening the card versus Omari Akhmedov. Some PFL in there. Cesar Pereira on the card. John Dodson versus Manuel Gamburian. Is a cool fight. I'm a big fan of that season of The Ultimate Fighter with John Dodson and Gamburian, so that's cool. That is Manny Gamburian that I'm thinking of, right? Yeah. Okay. I'm a big fan of those guys from Tough, so that's cool. Santiago Ponzinibbio defeated Court McGee. Raquel Pennington defeated Betch Kahea. Michael Chiesa defeating Beneil Dariush by submission. That's a big one. Cub Swanson defeating Hakran Diaz. So we got Cubby Swanson on there as well. Habib versus Daryl Horcher. Rose Namajunas defeating Tisha Torres by a decision. And then Rashad Evans being KO'd by Glover Teixeira in the first round. What run was Rashad Evans on at that point in his career? He had just lost to Ryan Bader, but it was kind of still near the start of his kind of run in the UFC where he couldn't buy himself a win. Fight of the night was the opening fight as Zaleski dos Santos versus Akhmedov, and performance of the night for Glover Teixeira and Michael Chiesa. That is pretty good. I can't lie. I'm very happy that even though they weren't the main events, obviously I would much rather have the coolest signature on the poster be the main event. But we've got two posters right there, and we've got Habib on one and Kamaru Usman on the other. That's pretty cool. We've got some world champions. We've got Glover Teixeira. We've got Rose Namajunas. Obviously Habib as well. Some top fighters on that, you know. I think we've done pretty good. I mean, let's get away from the fact that there was some kind of error and that I didn't strictly buy one of those. I'd be pretty happy with either of those, to be honest. I don't know which one I would rather have. I would probably edge towards the Shevchenko home one just because I think the poster itself is quite cool. It's when they started to get away from... I mean, the fact that this poster came literally the event before that one. But that one's design is so much cooler. It's so much more unique. It incorporates Chicago into it. Whereas this one there's nothing about Florida or anything. It's just a red background. But I can't be mad at... Mad? That doesn't even make any sense. Let's have a quick look. See if I can spot any signatures on there that are particularly cool. I can see Glover's already, and I think that might be Rashad's. That looks like Drew Dober. So we might have Drew Dober and Islam. I'm trying to see if you can see this. I don't know if you can see that one very well. No, you can't see that one at all because of the light. But that is Drew Dober. So, that's definitely Michael Chiesa, big old M. Gonna have to have a look to see what Lyoto Machida. That could be Machida. That looks like it says Mutant. Is that Manny Gamburian? To be honest, the big question is, have we got Habib on here? That looks like Raquel Pennington. Okay. Decent stuff, guys. Right. Thank you for checking out this video. Did you like that transition? Yeah, leave this video a like. Similar to what I said for the last video, leave a comment below of what you guys would like to get in one of these, and whether you're going to get yourself one after seeing these ones that have come out pretty well. Yeah, cool. I don't reckon we don't. Oh, Habib stayed on the card, didn't we? So we definitely have Habib. Cool. All right, anyway, I'm rambling. Catch you in a bit, guys. Thank you for checking out the video.